This is a rare occasion. You brought me here today.
Yes, I did, Junior. There was some news announced a few days ago. Small to some, but very groundbreaking.
Wow, really, what is that?
Google and Coinbase both announced a partnership.
Okay, and how is this groundbreaking?
This is a sign that both blockchain and Web3 are getting mainstream adoption.
That's pretty cool.
I know, right? It's going to really encourage the development of Web3.
What does the partnership include?
Google is going to use Coinbase's commerce service.
What's that?
It's a service Coinbase provides to facilitate payments. It's really just an API, a way of exchanging data via the internet, often in real time.
What else might there be?
Coinbase is also going to use Google's cloud platform for their Web3 development, moving away from Amazon.
You're right, that is a pretty big deal.
Now let's get into the tech.
I have been waiting for you to say that. Let's geek out.
I have talked about Web3 before. Hit the link above to watch that video. My walkthrough of how Web3 may work will help in what's to come.
Yeah, you looked weird in that video.
I guess so. Anyway, for Google to implement Coinbase Commerce, they will have to allow communication over the web using Coinbase API. Given my experience, I would suspect at a high level these API calls would be facilitated by a proxy. Given this is Google, we are talking about probably Apigee.
What in the world is Apigee and what is a proxy?
Apigee is a tool to create and manage APIs that has built-in proxy capabilities. Going a little further in explanation, Apigee will host APIs you create while also directing APIs you consume, and doing so securely, protecting your backend network. This was actually a service that Google purchased.
I think I know as much as I like about that. So what happens next?
Through Apigee, the API will call Coinbase's Commerce API, which probably sits on a server or servers in their environment. It will then validate the entity trying to make the payment, validate their Coinbase account/wallet has sufficient assets, and then process the payment.
Still kinda struggling here. You know what would help this make more sense? A picture.
No problem. Starting from the beginning, within Google's Cloud Platform Admin Center, there would be an invoice which needs to be paid. The customer will then go to pay this invoice and be presented with some options on how to pay, one of which will be by using Coinbase. Once the Coinbase option is selected, the user will have to verify themselves with Coinbase. You can then process your payment using assets you have in Coinbase for one of 10 cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, USD Coin, Tether, ApeCoin, Bitcoin Cash, DAI, Dogecoin, Litecoin, or Shiba. Whatever currency you choose will have your payment deducted from the balance, and Coinbase will push the payment to Google, which will have an underlying address for that currency on the back end. It's important to note that this is a push because with traditional payments, the money is pulled from your account as opposed to you sending it off. Google will use another service that Coinbase Commerce offers to its users to keep track of these payments using webhooks.
Wait, did you say right hook?
No, webhook. These are very similar to API, but they are more like text messages. They send automated alerts or messages from applications or services as things occur. In this case, Coinbase Webhook service is monitoring the addresses for each of the 10 cryptocurrencies I mentioned, and once it sees a payment processed, it will notify Google. I believe they have a landing page that logs all of this. Google, I'm sure, will customize this page to match address and payment to account holders to log the payments. And that's all I have for today. I hope it was helpful.
Yes, as always, strategist, you don't disappoint.